In this video, I'm going to talk about how you are addicted to stress and you don't even know it.
Audio Jungle.
What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Spirit Lab. My name is Chris, and I intend to increase your awareness by bridging the science into spirituality. And in this video, we're going to be talking about how you're addicted to stress and you don't even know it. So first off, let's become aware that there's both bad stress and good stress. And the way we can become aware of that is by paying attention to our internal environment versus the external environment. So our internal environment, which is actually the more real environment, I would say, it's the environment you should be paying attention to, is basically our feelings and emotions and so on and so forth. So the way we feel and whatnot, that's our internal environment. Our external environment could be anything from someone being rude to you, a bad relationship, bad job, a job you don't like going to, traffic. When we experience those things in our external environment and we identify with them, we release hormones in our body unconsciously. And these hormones are norepinephrine, cortisol, adrenaline, so on and so forth. And these hormones are actually negative hormones. You can think of those like, the way I think of them is basically energy. Those are negative energy being released into our body. And our bodies end up becoming used to or addicted to those type of hormones because we're constantly in a state of stress. So we become addicted to those hormonal states. So what I mean by that is, like, you could think of those hormones as like a narcotic. And the more you do a narcotic, the more you kind of crave it. So the way you could think of it as your external environment, whenever you identify with it, you're becoming more and more addicted to that situation in your life, whether it is traffic. I'm stuck in traffic. Why isn't this moving any faster? I'm getting mad. And this will constantly be in your body. And it can be anything from that, something small, or something big when you get fired. And just honestly, it's just us agreeing to that thing that's happening in our external environment. And when that happens, we become so addicted to it, and our body continuously releases those hormones into our body. So when that happens, that becomes the new balance. So our body is constantly in an imbalance, and that's why whenever we go out into our external environment or whatever it is the case we may be doing, we are constantly craving those type of hormones. And I know a lot of you might be disagreeing with that fact, but we unconsciously do so. And I'll show you why. Just think about this. The system is created so you're constantly in stress. So we, as kids, go to school, we learn what we need to learn, and then we're off to college, yet we have to pay a certain amount to actually be in debt to go to college to become whatever it is that we wanted to become. But now we have this debt, which debt also equals stress. So now you're constantly paying this debt off, and now we have to go and buy a house that also puts on debt on you. So now you have to work, maybe a job that you don't even like because you didn't do what you were passionate about. And so now you have to work, go to a job you don't like, getting stuck in traffic, and you're constantly releasing these stressful hormones in your body. And so your body craves it more and more and more, because God forbid you don't feel anything. And this is why we have to become aware of our internal environment. Once we realize that these hormones are really taking over our lives and creating our reality, we can start to move out of it. And just pay attention to this one fact too. All living organisms are designed for short-term stress, including humans. What do I mean by that? Humans have become maladaptive to long-term stress. I'll give you an example. When a gazelle is being chased by a lion, those same hormones, like the norepinephrine, the adrenaline, the cortisol, that fight or flight response is being released into their bodies. As soon as that chase is over, he is no longer feeling those type of hormones. Those hormones are gone. He's back to what he was doing, which is probably eating grass or, just chilling or whatever. And, he's back to his normal routine. Humans are constantly in stress because they're always placing themselves into the future or into the past. There could have been something said to them in the past that's making them feel a certain type of way, which they have agreed with, maybe incongruence to maybe someone telling them that they are unworthy, or that bill that they had to take care of in the future. So you see how easily we can be under these stressful states. Most of those same hormones, and we don't even realize that, but it craves it because, again, it's like a narcotic. So your body would rather feel something than to feel nothing. So that's how we become addicted to those stressful states. Now, how can we break out of this? Because you could easily be stuck in a perpetual loop, in an autopilot mind, doing the same things every day and thinking the same way, feeling the same way, because you gotta get up to a job you don't like, first of all. So that's probably why you're waking up late. Now you gotta get stuck in traffic to go to the job that you don't like in the first place, and probably be around people you don't even like to begin with. So, I mean, us being identified with our external environment will cause us to become more and more releasing of these hormones, basically addicted to these stressful hormones. And us as human beings, we need to become better than that. So how do we break out of this autopilot mind, addicted state? Well, I'm glad you asked. And if you haven't, you should. Anyways, in order to become breaking away from those addicted states, first of all, you have to become aware of the internal environment. So by becoming aware of your internal environment, meaning how you feel, your emotions, those things that you're taking in, you have to really become the observer of those emotions. Not identify with them, observe them. Once you realize what is causing those stressful states, you can actually disidentify with all of that. So in a sense, you have to become greater than your external environment. Meaning, yes, you might have to go to a job you're not passionate about. Yes, you might have to be people that you're around, but you don't have to agree to those things, because everything in life is fundamentally neutral. We give the meaning of everything in our external environment. So the fact that you have to get up to work, which is probably a job you don't like, you don't have to agree to that. Just tell yourself that it's, a neutral thing that you have to do in order to take care of what it is that you need to take care of. And at the same time, become aware of what you're passionate about and start doing those things instead on your off time, or maybe in time that you actually can find to do it. So what I'm trying to get at is that we can control how we feel internally by disidentifying what's external. And the more we identify with our external environment, the more we are in that fight or flight response. So just like the gazelle, when she's being chased by that lion, there's only 3 things that matter. And this puts that gazelle in survival mode, which is how you are constantly, and we don't even realize it. We are addicted to this survival mode method. What do I mean by survival mode? When the gazelle is running from the lion, what are they worried about? 1, their body. I gotta protect this. This is who I am. I gotta run from this lion. 2, their environment. Where am I going? And why am I going there? To be safe, basically, right? 3, time. How fast can I get to that external environment or to that environment so I can be safe again? But again, if we are constantly in these in this survival mode, meaning if we're constantly identifying with our body, the time and our environment, then we lose focus on being creative, because that's who we are. We are at our core peace, joy, love, enlightenment, everything positive. That's what releases those, good stress hormones, meaning maybe serotonin, dopamine, so on and so forth. So that's who we are, who we truly are. But when we identify with our external environment and what's going on in our external environment, we lose focus of that. We become stuck in that autopilot, addicted survival mode method. And when you're in a state of an emergency, like that gazelle, when you're in a state of emergency, it's not time to create. It's not time to learn. It's time for an emergency. So that's why this whole system is designed for us to be stuck in survival mode. And this is why I think it's so important for you guys to become aware of your internal environment, so you can become a creative being, because you are an immortal spiritual being. You are one with the divine creator. And in knowing that, wouldn't you want to create more of who you are? And that's how we can break from our external environment. Now, if you want more on this, my buddy and I created a podcast called A Soul's Dream. He also has a great YouTube channel. It's called, just find him at I Am Leonardo Jr. and his Instagram. Follow him. He has a link tree there. You can see his YouTube channel there. It's great. My YouTube channel is currently going up, a little choppy, but it's all right. But you can follow me on my Instagram as well. And if you like this video, go ahead and like it. And just again, become aware of your external environment, become aware of your internal environment, separate the two, and choose your internal environment rather than your external environment. Okay, guys? Again, hit the thumbs up, subscribe, and my buddy and I have a Soul Stream podcast. Go ahead and follow that, and we go deeper and deeper and deeper into, actually we have an episode on the survival mode method, and we go really deep into that. We have I think it's like an hour or something minutes into that one topic, and we go really deep into how people really get addicted into that type of stuff. So I hope you guys like this video. Go ahead and hit the thumbs like button or whatever you want, and if not, that's okay. But I got more videos coming out for you guys, and I hope you guys love it. Okay, much peace and love.